What people might not know about me is that before I became a therapist, I worked in admissions at a drug and alcohol rehab, and I talked on the phone to like 30 people a day and having real conversations with probably like 5 to 10 of them. And what surprises people is that I mostly talked with families of someone struggling with alcohol use disorder, substance use disorder, any type of abuse of substances. I would talk to mostly their families and not the person. And what was really interesting is that I got a firsthand view of how addiction specifically is a family dysfunctional situation. And that a lot of the times the members of the family were just as dysfunctional as the person with the substance abuse issue. And so what I learned there was how to help people with boundaries and how to help people respond to dysfunctional behavior that was extreme in some way. And in my opinion, defensiveness is one of those things in a marriage in particular that is extreme and has devastating effects on a marriage. We all know that marriages die typically by the death of 1,000 cuts. It's usually not one thing. Like if we look at an affair, usually if we look at the dynamic, it is before that, death by 1,000 cuts. The affair is just the symptom. And what we know, I'm not a big fan of Gottman. As you guys know, I've talked about him before, but if you don't know him, he is a divorce researcher and marriage researcher. He has the biggest longitudinal study in marriage ever done. Over 40 years, he studied couples and he came up with 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Basically, if these 4 things exist in your marriage, that there's a 90% chance of something that you'll divorce. And he can, upon spotting these behaviors, predict whether people are going to stay together or not. And while there's a lot problematic with that, and a little problematic with his research, that's what we know. If these 4 things exist, it's defensiveness, stonewalling, criticism, and contempt. Those are the 4 things. And what I want to talk about in particular is defensiveness, because we see this all of the time. People don't think it's a big deal. But what I want to help people do is treat this issue like it's someone with a substance abuse issue. We need to externalize it and make it concrete in this way, because what we know is that when defensiveness is chronically present in a marriage, it's inevitably going to lead to divorce. It is. If not divorce, then total dysfunction and disconnection. We know that for sure. And so I feel like I've been holding back because I'm coming from a therapist point of view, but I've worked with a lot of people in addiction and it takes a different approach. And so I'm going to help you kind of be hardcore about your boundaries and get this shit figured out.